Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Ayan Jain.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are from Bhopal,
Yes, sir. Currently residing there, sir.
the city of lakes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There was a gas tragedy in Bhopal. What was the gas involved
Sir, methyl isocyanate.
and why it happened? What is the reason?
Sir, there were lack of security, industrial security measures, and this gas leak, sir.
Or there was a water leakage and it mixed up with the gas and increased the pressure.
Very sorry, sir. I will check about it, sir.
Yeah, that was the reason. Anyway, so you are already in service.
Yes, sir.
Which service?
IPS, sir.
You have got IPS.
Yes.
You are on extraordinary leave.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me these three new laws that have come, which you will administer as an IPS officer. What are the takeaways? What are the plus points?
Yes. So the first plus point is that it is an Indian version of the criminal laws as compared to the previous ones which were made by the British for us. Secondly, sir, the focus has shifted from being punitive and trying to control it as a police state to being more focused on justice and welfare. Thirdly, sir, there have been several additions and subtractions. For example, mob lynching has been made punishable, adultery has been decriminalized, and the provision of sedition has been removed, and it has been made a better provision of Deshdroh as compared to Rajdroh.
What is the difference, Rajdroh and Deshdroh?
Sir, Deshdroh refers to any activity or any incitement against the nation and national interest, whereas Rajdroh is with respect to the government, sir.
Okay. So criticism of government is okay, but acting against the interest of the country is sedition.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay. The new definition of sedition, is it it can be misused? Even the new definition. What do you feel?
Sir, certainly there is still a possibility of it being misused because of the wide scope of activities or speeches which may be considered to be against the national interest, sir.
And is media specifically mentioned?
Sorry, sir, I will have to recheck, sir. I do believe there was a mention, sir. I will recheck, sir.
Okay, all right. And this police custody, the period has been increased.
Yes, sir.
So, what is your view? Is it a good thing?
Sir, there are both positives and negatives. Sir, sometimes for the investigation to be done, a longer time is required. So, increasing police custody in that sense is good. At the same time, sir, keeping in mind that already most persons who are arrested or in prison are under trials, and consequently increasing police custody might be against their fundamental rights, sir.
Okay. And you are interested in chess.
Yes, sir.
How many grandmasters so far from India?
Sir, 84, if I recall correctly.
84.
Sir, I'm not sure if there was an 85th recently, but R. Vaishali was the 84th.
Okay. And who got the Arjuna award recently?
Sir, recently Vaishali Ramesh Babu got the Arjuna award, sir.
Okay. And Vaishali's brother also is a grandmaster.
Yes, sir. Pragnananda is in fact amongst the best from India. He has also got the Arjuna award, sir.
Okay, good. And your mother is a MD in EOS Capital Advisors Private Limited. Is a private company or her own company?
Yes, sir. Her own investment banking, sir.
Investment banking. Okay, good. Your subject is maths.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is Vedic maths and whether it is relevant today?
Sir, Vedic Mathematics is a book written by Mr. Bharatiya Tirth Krishna. The book is said to contain techniques and tools for mathematical calculations which were supposedly inspired by the Vedas rather than being directly obtained from them. Sir, relevance is certainly there for helping students in calculations for making mathematics easier. In fact, some states have implemented it as a part of their school curriculum also. While it may not be able to replace the rigorous mathematics curriculum, it can certainly supplement it.
Okay. Vinod.
Thank you, sir.
Ayan, you must be knowing about the Right to Service Act.
Sorry, sir.
Right to Service Act.
Sir, I am aware of a provision in the Constitution for service, but not this.
It's not provided in this Constitution. It's an act which has been made by several states, and to the state which you belong, that was the pioneer. It made the first act in 2010.
Very sorry, sir. Must have missed it.
So, just okay. I come to the second question. What is the federal structure of the Constitution, and whether India is a federal country or a unitary country?
Yes.
And points in support or against?
Sir, India is said to be a quasi-federal country, but as per the Constitution, it has both unitary and federal features, but the division is largely federal. Sir, some federal features, for example, sir, we have the doctrine of federal supremacy. So, if any topic is there in concurrent list and the center and state have both made laws on it, then the law made by the center prevails, sir. This is one important principle, sir. Integrated judiciary is usually considered a unitary feature, and independent judiciary is considered a federal feature.
What are the foremost four important features of a real federal country? What are the
Yes.
Can you name them?
Sir, one would be clear demarcation of powers. Second would be, sir, that inability.
Demarcation of power is here also.
Yes, sir.
Except that you have a concurrent list.
Yes.
But demarcation of power is there. So that should not be the major point.
Yes.
You specifically say what is the what makes a country real federal.
So may I take a moment to think?
Please.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I believe taking cue from United States of America, one provision is if states have their own constitution or own laws, that leads to a very high level of federalism.
That way
sir.
state can have laws in India also on many issues.
Yes, sir. But in India we have one constitution, sir. Whereas in United States, the state provinces themselves have constitution also.
Okay, I leave that question with the remark that you read it more.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir.
Now coming to the third point, like India's position in the the four pillars of democracy. Which are the four pillars of democracy?
So the legislature, executive, judiciary, and media, sir.
So what is the media's freedom index? There is a global media freedom index.
Yes, sir.
What is the India's rating there and how it is going? Can you say about 5 lines about it?
Yes, sir. Sir, I do not recall the exact rank, but I am aware that we are amongst the bottom half, I believe, sir. And the rank has not been good in the last
Bottom half we were for last 25 to 30 years.
Yes, sir.
So I have given you that we are bottom half for many years.
Yes. Sir.
So how we are, you have to be slightly nearer to the rank, and then and we are. I'm giving one more cue that we are falling also in rank.
Yes, sir.
So now you say what is your take?
Sir, I will certainly check on the exact rank, sir. But yes, sir, globally, many countries have expressed their concern about freedom of media in India. For instance, sir, related to the internet shutdowns also this was considered, and in general of suppressing media, not allowing complete freedom. For example, arrests of certain persons. India has maintained, sir, as it has been done to protect our national security and sovereignty. Perhaps a lighter touch is required, sir.
My last question. What is the monetary policy and what is the fiscal policy? Can you differentiate both of them?
Yes, sir. So both are tools of regulating the economy. Monetary policy is the interventions by the Reserve Bank of India, largely through the rates such as the repo rates and reverse repo rates, whereas fiscal policy is done by the government, largely in terms of taxation and government spending.
But people say that the Reserve Bank role is more to control the inflation, whether it is and repo controlling they do by tinkering with the repo rate. What is your take on it?
Yes, sir. Sir, as you mentioned, the primary role of RBI is to maintain inflation, but also for promoting macroeconomic stability and long-term growth, sir.
And what is the fiscal policy?
So fiscal policy, I believe, is to promote the economic growth, sir.
Fiscal policy is that? There is no definition of fiscal policy.
Sir, fiscal policy is the intervention by government primarily through taxation and government spending to again control the economy, to promote demand and other measures.
So
sir.
what you are expecting in the current budget, that is the fiscal step,
Yes, sir.
current next fiscal step. So
Yes,
what
sir.
are you expecting in that, and what are you expecting in the monetary policy, which will follow the budget by what 8 to 10 days?
Yes.
Can you suggest something
Yes, sir.
like a young economist?
Yes, sir. Sir, from the budget, sir, continuing with the trend of the past few years, capital expenditure is expected to rise, sir, as government's push on infrastructure and logistics sector has been there for the last several years. Sir, consequently, there will also be push to greener growth, for example, electric vehicles or to other greener technologies. Similarly, sir, inclusive growth will be a key feature, whether we talk about women-oriented schemes or related to tribals or specially abled persons. This focus will certainly be there, sir. Coming to monetary policy, sir. Sir, if I remember correctly, the stance of RBI currently has been, the repo rates have been kept constant after raising them. They have been constant for a long time, so are expected to fall, sir. But I will check again, sir.
And what is your take on the policy for disabled in India?
Yes, sir. Sir, two key provisions in this regard, sir. One is the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 and the Accessible India campaign. These are two landmark events, sir. Sir, they are in the right direction. Their implementation is being done. We have seen a marked improvement in facilitative infrastructure, in assistive devices technology.
Where we have reached in accessibility, physical accessibility in last 10 years?
So we have seen a marked improvement, sir.
Like?
So for example, the construction of ramps in many public institutions like schools and hospitals for physically handicapped. So in various metro stations or railway stations, we have tactile plates. We have a text-to-speech option on all government websites, and also Braille script is available in many tourist destinations, sir.
And what percentage of railway stations we find these things which you are describing? Any railway bogies have with this change has already taken place or not?
Yes, sir. We do require a further growth. Perhaps the ratio is still small, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Ayan, you talked about shifting to electric vehicles.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, how will that control air pollution?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, electric vehicles do not require fuel such as fossil fuels. They run on electricity, so emissions will be significantly reduced, ma'am.
And where do we get the electricity from?
Ma'am, at present, yes, ma'am, we are largely using fossil fuels in our energy mix, but we are shifting to renewable energy, primarily solar, and solar electric vehicles have been a particular area of interest, ma'am.
All right, so electric vehicles would be of help only if we are able to recharge them using the renewable fueled electricity, or even otherwise?
Ma'am, I would not consider it the only way, ma'am. Ma'am, if I understand correctly, the energy utilization is also low for electric vehicles, so the net emissions are certainly lower even at present, ma'am.
All right, maths has been your subject?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, what are perfect numbers?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, perfect numbers such as the number 6 are numbers which can be expressed as the sum of their factors excluding the numbers themselves, ma'am. For example, 6 is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3, ma'am.
And how many perfect numbers do we know?
Ma'am, I'm aware of 6 and 28. Ma'am, I'm not sure if there are any more. There must be, ma'am.
51.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, tell me, what is a welfare state?
Ma'am, a welfare state is one which prioritizes the welfare and the well-being of weaker sections and promotes a more inclusive growth, focusing on the weaker sections especially.
Is existence of welfare state possible when we have capitalism?
When we have, ma'am?
Capitalism.
Yes, ma'am, I do believe, ma'am, India also is a welfare state as per our constitution. And ma'am, I do believe that capitalism can lead to higher economic growth, which can then allow more focus on welfare activities and economic development, ma'am.
Okay, define economic development.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, economic development is the qualitative aspect of economic growth, For example, in terms of socio-economic parameters, inclusive growth, so on, ma'am.
And what would be the difference between equality and equity?
Ma'am, equality is usually considered from the input side, if I may. For example, if we give rupees 100 to everyone, that would be considered a measure of equality. Equity would be, ma'am, if everyone reaches the same level. For example, if we can ensure that everyone's income in India is the same.
Everyone's income in India is same.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, this is my understanding that equity is to try to make people reach at a stage which is as equal as possible, ma'am. Ma'am, I will certainly try to clarify
Sir.
that, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ayan, have you heard of Neo Vedanta?
Sir, I've heard of it but not able to recall.
Can you recall who said that Buddhism is a rebel child of Hinduism? Buddhism is a rebel child of Hinduism. Who said it?
Sir, if I may
One
guess,
of the Indian philosopher, he said it. Who said it?
Sir, my guess would be Shankaracharya, sir.
Oh, it was Mr. Vivekananda, and Mr. Vivekananda was the propounder of. I mean, he was said that he followed Neo Vedanta, and that's.
Thank you, sir.
Who is accused of money laundering? A person is accused of money laundering.
Yes, sir.
What are circumstances when a person is accused of money laundering?
Yes, sir. Sir, when a person tries to convert their black money into white money, such as by investing in their shell firms or in other companies, that person is considered to be involved in money laundering, sir.
There is a Prevention of Money Laundering Act.
Yes.
Have you any idea about that? Because this is not the definition which you have said. Definition is something different. That's why I am saying. So you
Very sorry,
get
sir, I
back to
will
that,
read more.
because money laundering has been extensively in use.
Yes,
Enforcement Directorate derives its authority from the Prevention of Money Laundering Act.
yes.
ED has been so much of in the news.
Thank you, sir.
Now, recently there have been allegations by the opposition parties that the central government has been weakening the public institutions like CBI, ED, etc. Now, do you agree with this?
Sir, I believe the concerns are valid, but such allegations should not be raised. If there is any doubt, then investigation can be done. I believe, sir, work has been done in a very transparent manner, so there is no such case of them being weakened, sir.
So, when you raise an allegation, you're already in police service, but then it needs to be followed by investigation, and then after investigation, what happens? The matter is referred, if there is a case is there, they refer to the judiciary.
Yes,
So, we have a separation of power.
yes.
So, in separation of power, does this allegation gets manifested?
Sir, so
That
far,
is, the allegations by the
Yes.
judiciary, has it been proved to be the correct allegations, or get it manifested by the judiciary?
sir, if I may explain using an example. Sir, when it comes to the ED, the conviction rate is very low, sir, around 1%, I believe. So, in that regard, it may be considered as a weakening, but sir, such measures are understandable. And when we look at the judiciary also, the higher courts have often spoken against the government in a very independent and fair manner, sir.
Okay. Now, you have heard of 16th Finance Commission?
Yes, sir.
What it does? What is the function of the Finance Commission?
So, the function is to distribute the net proceeds of taxes between the states and also to recommend certain areas, sir.
What are the issues before the 16th Finance Commission this time? Apart from the usual functions which they have.
Yes. Sir, I'm very sorry.
Freebies are also to be considered.
Yes.
That.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, you must have heard of NPA.
Yes, sir.
What causes NPA?
Sir, NPA or non-performing assets, they are caused when a person or corporation who has borrowed a loan is not able to repay the loan for a long duration of time, sir.
So that is normal circumstances. Under what circumstances the NPA becomes a matter of money laundering?
Sir, may I take a moment to think?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I believe it might be because when a loan is not repaid for a long time, then it has to be either written off or it is obtained back in different ways. Then, sir, the black money may be indirectly converted to white money, sir. But I will gain more clarity on this, sir.
NPA is a normal phenomena because the business may not succeed, therefore they may not be in a position to. There are different regulatory bodies to have a check on that. When the loan is obtained basically with the purpose of cheating the bank by misrepresentation of facts, then it becomes a criminal activity. So only when there is a criminal activity that the money laundering comes into picture.
Yes.
Black money, tax evasion is not an issue in money laundering. There are different provisions of act which deals with that.
Yes.
Only when a criminal act is involved and the criminal act produces the proceeds of crime, then the money laundering comes into a being.
Thanks.
Okay, fine. That's all.
Okay, Ayan, you can go out.
Yes.
We'll call for feedback.
Thanks.
What is your own impression about the interview today?
Sir, I believe I need more clarity on money laundering and federal structure and related issues.
Okay. Money laundering is a very common subject these
Yes,
days. Is in the news. Go through it.
Yes.
Okay. And your second preference is Indian Foreign Service.
Yes.
Because of paucity of time, we didn't ask anything. But I hope you are familiar with the current
Yes.
developments. Russia-Ukraine war is the oldest.
Yes.
Then Palestine, Israel,
Yes.
Hamas,
Yes.
Houthi rebels.
Yes.
You are familiar?
Yes.
Then Quad,
Yes.
string of pearls,
Yes.
necklace of diamonds.
This I'll read more, sir.
Okay. South China.
Yes, sir. I'm aware of the conflict, sir.
Okay. UNSC reform,
Yes, sir.
whether India should become a member,
Yes.
what claims,
Yes, sir.
go through all this.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you are from a very good background, you have prepared yourself well. At times that leads to the problem in the interview.
Yes.
Okay. You are from Sanskriti school. They will say it is a elitist school only for bureaucrats, which is not correct.
Yes.
Only for the children of bureaucrats and things like that. Okay. So be prepared for some
Yes.
suckers like that and handle them well. Nothing to be
Yes.
get upset or nervous about. How much you scored in the last interview?
Sir, 187.
187 is very good. If you can keep it up, then I think you can.
Yes.
And how much time is there for your interview?
Sir, I've not got the date yet. So.
Both time.
So you have enough time?
Yeah.
And you have not joined IPS for preparation?
No, sir.
No.
I've
So you
taken
have got enough time?
Yes.
Read 2 newspapers, practice some on the mirror, the answers, and be ready for the, I think, all depends on a day, because 187 is a very good score. To better it will not be an easy thing. That is our impression, but definitely people have scored more.
Yes.
People have scored about 225 also.
Yeah.
So all possibilities are there. And we may see you in the top 10 also. May, if you do very well in the
And
interview and you have
since
done.
you are already in IPS and your father is also in IPS, there may be some questions relating to police.
Yes.
Problems they are facing, this, that. And of course, these 3 new laws.
Yes.
That is a must.
And comparison of Maldives and Lakshadweep should be very, very thorough. Like if, but it is, your interview is not very nearby. Otherwise, I would say, because today that question has been answered almost, all people have answered it wrongly.
Because they don't know the numbers. You know.
Yeah. This difference of size,
It's only the nationalism that.
that is prevailing.
By your previous experience, do you find that there is something, I mean, like the way we have conducted the interview and you got the interview, actual interview done there, what a difference you find there?
So my actual interview was mostly on DAF, so I was able to handle them, sir.
Okay,
So the matters of general interest, I have to prepare better, sir.
okay.
So here the range is more.
Yes, sir.
Here the range more. What you couldn't answer at that point of time, can you recall what you couldn't answer in that interview board?
Sir, one question was about a chess player, a cricket player who also plays chess, but I had not been following that,
Mhm.
so I did not know that.
That is okay.
Yes.
That's okay. That's okay.
Sir, other than that, the questions were not difficult, but my answers were also not unique in any manner, sir.
Okay.
Right to Service Act, you should know. Madhya
Yes.
Pradesh is the first state to implement. Your father served in Madhya Pradesh. You are also giving your address from Madhya Pradesh.
Yes.
So, the Right to Service Act is
Yes.
is not a very old act and neither a very new act. It's started in 2010. About 11-12 states have implemented it.
Yes.
This is right of citizens to have services on time, in a certain time. That is the basic thing.
Like sir has already said that you, so far the Indian Foreign Service is concerned international. Similarly, now you are bracketed for 2 services only.
Yes.
So you must, we have not been able to go through the entire economic topics. So like GDP, financial structure, you could answer in Finance Commission,
Yes.
but something detailed, vote on accounts, etc. So that you should concentrate on. I mean, anything else?
Do you have anything to say or any question?
You want to ask anything?
No, sir.
So my one more suggestion:
Yes.
don't do too many mocks.
Not
Only
necessary.
only in 15 to 20 days one mock, because your interview date has not come, and prepare yourself
Yes.
so that you see that whether you are growing after every 15-20 days.
Yes.
That is the best way to see.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thanks.